Donut is kind of like Donut's envy. All these Mage Paladin teams, they really don't want to see them, and getting it first round could be pretty hard for them. Not sure if they've practiced any new comps or if they're just going to continue running the Windwalker DK to try and deal with it. Maybe they've got a better strategy. Maybe a better target or something. Like, we've seen the Windwalker DKs adapting every single week to the Holy Paladin Mage comp. Sometimes they're doing like grips on Shadow Priest behind pillar, trying to stun him behind the pillar and 100 OM. Sometimes they just train Paladin start to finish. Sometimes they're on the Mage trying to break up CC. Like, they've changed their targets so many times, but it's always not been too successful. So I'm curious to see if they're going to be playing different classes or if they're just going to be running more of the same and just maybe hoping to get some lucky crits or something, because it's going to be really hard for them.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely difficult for them. I mean, time and time again, more and more teams equip themselves with this Mage, Holy Paladin, specifically Shadow Priest composition that Donuts just had a trouble this entire season to deal with. Can they overcome this composition and take down a Mage Paladin? I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, right? I mean, we saw Veneruki and Mez and Borngood take down some very, very good Holy Paladin, Shadow Priest, Frost Mage compositions, but it was so very difficult for them, and they found some crazy opportunities to make things happen. Making that happen consistently, I just don't think is going to be possible. But maybe Donut knows something I don't. We're going to find out. Maybe we're going to see some adaptation in compositions or what. Can't wait to see. Please sponsor us, though. Of course, consist of Rubcub on that Holy Paladin, Beanslayer X, BSX on the Feral Druid, Sam I Am on the Frost Mage. He's been playing a bit more Warlock, though, lately. I have to say, I'm impressed with that. Merc Minds, of course, representing that Shadow Priest, but we've seen him time and time again play that Enhancement Shaman, so we might see an Enhancement Shaman come out. I think that's probably not going to happen, to be honest with you, looking at the rest of the classes on this team. But then we have Donut, which consists of Jeff the DK, just very well known for just pumping out absurd amounts of damage. Balance on that Windwalker Monk, and Cy Foxy running that Feral Druid, as well as Kappa on the Holy Paladin.
Yeah, maybe they're just going to play Windwalker DK. They're going to play for a really long game. They could do that as well. Donut with the Windwalker DK Holy Paladin, they could just try and survive as long as possible. Hope they catch someone in a bad position, maybe force someone's trinket and then grip them in or something. But it's still going to be pretty rough. And I mean, I would imagine the Holy Paladin God Comp is going to be coming out from Please Sponsor Us. They could play FMP. I mean, Beanslayer, he reckons some FMP once in a while, but I think the Holy Paladin God Comp would be their best pick, as they should pretty much guarantee themselves Windwalker DK. Oh, no, we got Feral DK, so we've got Sykesy, I think. I'm Cy Foxy. I'm pronouncing his name.
Yeah, it's Cy Foxy. You know, honestly, he's got so many different names that are very similar to one another. They're all kind of correct. But he's actually on a Feral Druid named Ed. But that is indeed Cy Foxy himself, as well as Grandpapa Jeff and Kappa on the Holy Paladin. They're going to be going up against the Shadow Priest Frostmage Holy Paladin. I mean, why wouldn't Please Sponsor Us run this composition against this team? They've seen it time and time again do just so well against all of Donut's comps. So, can Donut overcome?
The last time we saw them play this Feral DK Holy Paladin into Holy Paladin God Comp, Cy Foxy the Feral just died over and over and over every game so fast he wasn't able to get really anything done. So maybe they've got a better survival tactic to keep him alive. Try and get his incarn off a little bit more cleanly here in game number 1. But Jeff just charging in on his mount with that freedom, going right after Rubcub, already popping the Pillar of Frost. We see Cy Foxy leaping in. They are going all in SCVs onto Rubcub. How's he going to deal with it? He pops that shield wall. Kappa bubbling out of the sheep to keep his team offensive. Full strangulate onto Rubcub. Order Mastery's into a half bash. Full bleeds are up. His Stay by the Light is going to proc. Both interrupts are available, but they can't use it because of the Order Mastery. Kappa now caught into the Frost Jaw. There's the full Horrify over onto Cy Foxy. This is the setup to kill. He's going to trinket, get that survival instincts up. Will that be enough to keep him alive? Still just going after Rubcub relentlessly. They really want to force a bubble or a bop before popping that incarnation, but they don't get it. Avenging Wrath is going to be fading here shortly. Cy Foxy trying to line of sight to stay alive, but that Shadow Fiend is just punishing him. There's the incarnation. They're forced to use it early onto Rubcub. Will they be able to get a kill? There's the Blessing of Protection. Instead of the bubble, Jeff might be able to purge this off. He's trying to get it off. Icy Touch after Icy Touch. Never lucky. Cannot purge it off. Rubcub's bop is going to sit full, but now it is over. Cy Foxy opening with some more more rake stuns. Can they kill him in that forbearance timer? Soul Reaper is up. He could easily go down. Semi, I'm trying to defensively polymorph. Rubcub's going to get gripped back, and he could go down. Denouncers are flying it out. He's down to 14%, barely free casting himself. Jeff has an interrupt, but he's just holding on to it. Rubcub's going to fall. Please Sponsor Us are going to go down to Donut, and despite, Cyfoxy flopping in the past, he's going to deal a lot of damage here in game number 1, and Please Sponsor Us maybe not ready for it.
Oh my gosh, it's actually insane. Rubcub, I don't know if I like the choice of running that bop for the first. He was trying to be greedy. He's trying to use that lesser defensive cooldown in the opener there, but I suppose he didn't see Incarnation yet, right? So, or no, he bopped literally as soon as Incarnation came out. So I don't know. I mean, the bubble would have worn out eventually, and they would have still had the same amount of time to take him down. But there you have it. These guys desperately trying to peel, and Rubcub nearly survived there because the Merkmines did get a double fear right as Rubcub died, but he actually died to the dot damage. Even the interrupt from the Typhoon is what they needed.
Jeff never kicked him, and I wonder if that put Rubcub on tilt. Jeff was just sitting there hammering him with Mind Freeze up, never kicking, just like, I'm not going to kick, trying to like mess with him or something. Like, at a certain point as a Paladin, you have to cast to live. So he's like, okay, I have to cast. I can't fake you. I have no more time to fake. And it was interesting.
Wow. All right. I mean, even Kappa was getting in there with his one little denounce. All right, we're gonna be jumping into the next game here very, very shortly. One denounce. I'm assuming it was only one because there was only 12,000 damage. So I'm going to assume it was just one denounce, but we're going to be jumping into game number 2 here very, very shortly, and that means that this Holy Paladin Shadow Priest Frostmage gets to choose the map, and you know what that means. They don't want to give them a small map, they want to give them a big map. It's Tolvaron Arena. Welcome everybody to Tolvaron Arena. It's Donut versus Please Sponsor Us. Game number 2 here of this best of 5 series in round 1 of the GCD Pro League tournament number 5. We have a Feral Druid, a Frost Death Knight, and a Holy Paladin going up against Please Sponsor Us's Shadow Priest Frost Mage Holy Paladin. Now, I don't know if the same strategy is going to work. It's not going to work nearly as well, but is it going to work at all to just train down the Holy Paladin on such a large map like this? That's the question.
I don't think they have any other option. Like, if they don't kill with that first incarn, they aren't going to win. So, let's see. Jeff just charging again in on his camel mount with that freedom. Immediately going after Rubcub once again, popping that Pillar Frost as soon as he gets there. And now we see Cyfoxy jumping into the action, going for that Rake Stun, looking for a defensive clone. Does manage to bait out the counterspell. Here comes the Deep Freeze. Is Kappa just going to bubble? He bubbles again, dispels the Fist of Justice, going all in onto Rubcub, who was forced to Aura Mastery out of that Strangulate. Still free casting for a few more seconds. But if he gets locked out even one time, he could easily go down. He's down below 69% HP. He's playing very greedy at the moment, holding onto that Avenging Wrath as long as possible. Will they be able to punish him into the full stun? He may need to bubble this before Incarn is saved, but the light is going to proc. Kappa, though, caught into a full fear. A setup over onto Cyfoxy. He can easily get bursted down. He's going to trick it out of that Horrify, get the Survival Instincts up, and stay on the offense. Rubcub forced to pop his Avenging Wrath. He should be able to heal this very easily. Kappa still getting CC'd. Cyfoxy caught into the stun lock. His Saved by the Light's going to proc. Kappa's forced to trinket. Pops the Aura Mastery. Here comes the Incarnation. Rubcub gets locked out. Do they have enough burst to finish him off? Doesn't look like it. He's going to be able to bubble if he dips low enough and needs to do it. He needs to be careful about not getting interrupted, though. Kappa throwing out some denounces to prevent him from healing with crits. Rubcub getting gripped back here. They're trying to burst him down. He's forced to bubble down at 23%, but now Kappa has no way to remove CC. Cyfox is completely alone. He's just defensively stunning Merkmines at the moment to try and stay alive. He gets Horrified, but he's in a good position. He's not in line of sight of anyone. But now the Fist of Justice follows it up, and there's no way that this little kitty cat's making it out of the SPCA today. And down goes Cyfoxy. Please Sponsor Us, going to tie this series up 1-1.
Yep, they brought it to a much better map to survive the onslaught of this Feral Death Knight. And that's exactly what they needed, man. That's exactly what they needed. Also, the cheeky Life Grip coming out from Merkmines negated a lot of damage there. At one point, Rubcub was getting kind of low. He had no, and they had both their interrupts up, and he got that Life Grip. He got a few casts off, and that was what let him survive without using a bubble or a bop before Incarnation. So rotating those defensive cooldowns, rotating that CC is absolutely necessary for Please Sponsor Us to keep their Holy Paladin alive through that damage, and they did it quite well. But can they do it again? Donut now, because they are the loser of game number 2, they're going to have the opportunity to choose what map they're going to next, and I just can't help but to feel like we're going to Ruins of Lordaeron. I mean, why wouldn't we?
Yeah, probably Ruins of Lordaeron. I mean, even Dalaran could be good for them too, and then it gives Cyfoxy at least a pillar that's kind of good. I mean, Runes and Dalaran I think would be their best. Runes would tell me that they're just like, okay, we're just going to keep playing aggro, whereas Dalaran Sewers would tell me that they're kind of second guessing their strategy, and I don't think you can second guess. Like, they just need to do it, go for it. They were trying to punish Rubcup for his greed with that full main without him popping Avenging Wrath before it, but Save of the Light proc was able to save him. I don't know. I think Dalaran.
I think I like Dalaran more now I think about it more. Because, like, Cyfoxy, yeah, when he goes through the CC chain, like, he's bubbling to get him out of that stun, which I think is necessary to keep him that defensive. But because of that, he's not going to have that bubble later on, and Cyfoxy is kind of left alone. Every single game, so there's an opportunity where Cyfoxy is left alone, where he has no trinket available to him, and he is just facing this god comp all alone, and he needs a pillar to survive that brief moment. And if he doesn't have that pillar, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's going to be a much shorter game, so going on Runes of Lordaeron might be a bad idea. I don't know. It should be very interesting. It could backfire. I mean, we've seen Runes of Lordaeron backfire time and time again, huh? So it's one of those maps where, yes, it's very in your face, but players can adapt and, you know, use that against you. So even if you're running a composition like Feral DK, it could be very scary to allow this this god comp to just kind of go to town on you. But here we go. It is going to be Dalaran Sewers, and we're going to jump into this game here right now. Alright, welcome everyone to Dalaran Sewers. It's game number 3 of this best of 5 series between the Feral Druid, the Death Knight, and the Holy Paladin of Donut versus Please Sponsor Us' Shadow Priest Frost Mage Holy Paladin. So far, Please Sponsor Us, I feel like this composition itself generally looks very strong against the Ebola Cleave or the Feral DK composition for Donut, but Donut has proven that they're pure raw, like just training pressure that can get them wins, but can they do it on their map choice? Here we go.
Yeah, Rubcub, though, is really good with his positioning. When you're playing with two casters, the box is your enemy. You want to be in the open, and you can see he's already positioned down below the stairs, completely in the open, so his team can free cast on both of these melee. Although Jeff is doing quite a bit of damage here onto Rubcub at the moment, actually holding on to his Pillar of Frost, forcing the Aura Mastery before it. And now Pillar of Frost and Incarn will be up and available to use at the same time if they so choose to. Maybe they're going to make a swap to Kappa, though, maybe punish him for that early bubble. We see the Frostjaw instead. Rubcub's on the run, trying to get some casts off here. There is no interrupt available except from Jeff, but he fake casts the interrupt. Now Rubcub should be able to free cast, easily healing through all of this damage. He has bubble in an emergency situation. The Pillar of Frost here from Jeff, though, doing quite a bit of damage. Ooh. Life grip up, death grip down. Rubcub getting bursted through, is saved by the light at the moment here, trying to cut away. Goes for that Fist of Justice, though. Cyfoxy could be in trouble. Kappa's not trinketing. Cyfoxy's not trinketing. He could go down here. He's dipping dangerously low, down below 33% HP. He goes for the Incarnation instead. Says, you know what? I'm going to counter pressure instead of trying to run away at this moment. Stunning Rubcub here on his Avenging Wrath, but with that Avenging Wrath, he should be able to easily heal through this, and he is. Kappa now popping his own Avenging Wrath and easily healing Cyfoxy back to full HP. Samayam getting locked out on that sheep, keeping the momentum onto Rubcub here. He still has that bubble available. Samayam can peel as well if he needs to, but the bubble is forced to come out. Another setup over onto Cyfoxy. Kappa and Cyfoxy holding onto their trinkets, though, and he does manage to actually trinket out of that Fist of Justice. Now Rubcub on forbearance. Maybe they can get a kill here. They get him into the full rake stun. They have to kill him here and now. Jeff AMS is offensively to try and finish the job with the Pillar of Frost into the full strength with no way out. Mass Dispel just a little bit too late. Rubcub goes down on Dalaran Sewers and Donut, leading 2-1. And despite, you know, compositionally being at a disadvantage for quite a while, they figured out a way to do it with the Feral DK Holy Paladin, and it's working for them on the small maps. Now if they can find a way to deal with them on the bigger maps, I think that they've got a decent thing going for them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That being said, they don't have to play on Tolvaron Arena anymore, that being the biggest one of them all. So they're not going to go to as big a map, so they might be able to pull it out on not their map choice. If they want to take this series, they're going to have to win at least one game on not their map choice, because they did go down. Or actually, they won on a Grand Arena. They won on a Grand Arena, right? Donut. So technically, they just have to win only on their map choices. And they still have Ruins of Orderon available to them. So please sponsor us. They're going to have to make something happen here, and quick, if they want to take down Donut, because Donut has figured something out here, and they have a lot of momentum in their favor. All right, I'm interested to see what map we're going to. There's no more Tolvaron Arena, so where are we going? Like Tiger's Peak?
It depends. Like if they pick Rules of Order as the mystery, isn't it? We don't know who it's actually good for.
It's a good point.
Is it good for the Mage Paladin, or is it good for the Cleave? We don't really know. Pillars are kind of the enemies of the Wizards. I feel like police sponsors could play a lot more safe. I feel like they're just trying to go the whole time. I feel like they maybe could take control of the Death Knight a little bit better, allow Rubcub to get some distance. I mean, maybe even going on the DK instead of the Feral Druid could be an option since he's AMSing. I'd actually, what I'd like to see is them go on Kappa, because he's just bubbling the first sheep right away.
Right.
Like, he bubbles the first sheep and then just go on him. He's dead. He's gonna trinket, and then he's gonna die. So I feel like they're not really punishing Kappa for what he's doing, just bubbling the first CC.
You know, that's a really good point, and not only that, but like this Feral DK team is opting to not peel at all. Like even when they're dying, they're just opting to use their cooldowns to heal themselves or to stun the team, and it's interesting to see. They'd either have to be forced to peel for their team, or somehow, some way, Kappa is going to have to rotate through the next setup without a bubble, and I just don't see him doing that alone. But that's actually a really good strat, but we're going to see what these guys are going to be doing. That's what they're going to be doing. They're actually going to swap out Merc Mines and the Shadow Priest for Beanslayer on the Feral Druids. They're going to run FMP instead. What do you think about that, swap?
Now they've got more spammable CC. Obviously, Merkmine wouldn't want to be using his Sphere on the Feral Druid to peel or something like that, but now Beanslayer can just clone him up whenever he wants to, even at low HP, deny some healing. So this is going to give them a lot more survivability. I feel like Donut's going to need to try and figure something else out. I don't know if going after Rubcub is going to work for them here. As long as Beanslayer and Sam-I-Am can support him with the Sheeps and the clones, it should be pretty easy for him to deal with it. Obviously, at the beginning stages when Jeff has all of his trinkets to get out of CC, as well as Kappa and Foxy, that's when Police Monstrous needs to be the most careful. And once they get through that opening pressure, I think that they should be able to easily take this. Let's see, however, if Beanslayer's FMP swap will keep them in this series, or if they'll be knocked down to the loser's bracket.
We will see here. Beanslayer going to open up onto Jeff right away, just peeling him up in the middle of the map, looking for a Cyclone, but he's going to get hodged up. Looks like Foxy's still looking to get that opener onto Rubcub. They're both going to connect over out onto him, forcing that wall right away. He's going to use the wings in the sprint too. Hodge goes out onto Foxy, and Kappa's just going to bubble and dispel him out of that. Once again, same strat coming out from Donut, and let's see if Beanslayer can be what the difference is. The Aura Mastery coming out onto Rubcub. Sableye is going to proc. He's taking a bunch of damage. He's even going to get Typhooned on his cast. The Polymorphs goes out onto Jeffs. The Cyclones from Beanslayer goes out onto Foxy, and Rubcub is stabilized just about completely there but this is Incarnation. This is Berserk coming out from Beanslayer. He's trying to force Donut defensive, trying to force them off of his Holy Paladin. The full Polymorph lands on the Kappa. The Hodge on the Jeff. Bash onto Foxy. He's catching a whole bunch of damage. Saved by the Light's going to proc, but he still has that Incarnation Berserk up. He wants to get aggressive onto Rubcub right here, right now, as his wings do fade, but the defensive Cyclone from Beanslayer is going to land. Actually, 2 Cyclones are going to be going out, so Jeff must have stolen one and put it out onto Beanslayer. Nice job by him, but Rubcub getting interrupted. He's got to be careful here. He can't bubble for a few short seconds, but he gets it off just in the nick of time, and Rubcub's going to survive through the cooldowns of the DK Feral Druid for now, but Beanslayer's still in a lot of trouble, dipping down to 40% health here. Rubcub also taking a bunch of damage. He's gonna get silenced up. No Aura Mastery for this. He has his wall up, but isn't gonna be enough for him to heal through it. Beanslayer doing a great job cycloning up Foxy. Rubcub is still in a lot of trouble though. He gets bashed up on his Saved by the Light. He's still taking a bunch of damage, but these guys are having a lot more trouble connecting onto him, as Beanslayer is healing a whole lot more than Merkmines could. The bop coming out from Rubcub. Can he heal through this? this. Jeff looking to get the
That's
stun.
it.
He's getting peeled
Ah!
up on it. How is Rupcub alive? And he goes down, and Donut is going to take game number 4 and move on in the upper bracket. And, you know, going into this series, we were initially saying, Supa, like, there's no way Donut could win. How they've been having so much trouble against this composition, and they proved us wrong right here. They made it happen. They figured out the strat.
Yep. And okay, that's. I didn't expect the Feral Druid version to work so well. There was kind of an awkward moment for Beanslayer where he wanted to pop his Incarn to peel, so he didn't use his Berserk with it right away. And then his Berserk ended up like going past his Incarn, so he had it up without Incarn, which doesn't do a terrible amount for him. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like Jeff shouldn't be able to get away with what he's getting away with. Like a little bit better cross CC maybe. I'm not sure. It just seems like he's able to free reign on Rubcub a lot more than normal.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I don't know. Jeff kind of is just allowed to do whatever he wants to do. I mean, he's a DK. He has a whole bunch of trinkets available to him to get out of that peels, but still, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what exactly they needed to do differently, but Donut definitely has been doing their homework, and it shows. And here we go. We're going to be jumping into the next game, guys, in this upper bracket, which is Method versus Velito versus Jeff. That's a lot of verses in that sentence, but here